All right, this next poem is called They Live Within Us, and it's Indigenous Peoples Day 2021. And, my girlfriend and I, we just got done having breakfast and sending a friend off on his 1,000-mile solo bike journey. And we were driving back to our place, and outside of the Astoria courthouse, we saw my buddy Izzy. He was there by himself with his 3-year-old little son, Sagan, and he was holding a sign that said, "You are on native land." And we turned the car around. We honked, and then we turned the car around and we went and joined him. And as far as we could tell, there were no events planned by or for natives on this day here today. But Izzy, following the call, recognized that if there wasn't anything going on, then you make something happen yourself. And so we joined him there, and the response of all the cars passing by were mostly positive. A lot of raised fists, a lot of solidarity, a lot of support, a lot of smiles, a lot of honks that sounded like hellacious, ferocious, beautiful howls. And yeah, that was cool. That was a cool way to kind of broadcast some beautiful native power out into the public and out into the community, in person, in the flesh. And so I guess, as they say, special shout out to Izzy and his son for hopping on their horses and riding out there themselves. It really made me think about something one of my brothers said one time. He said, "The power of just one Indian." And it's not something to be underestimated. And it's not to be underestimated because of what maybe this poem I'm going to share speaks to. And that's this, one of the powerful realities that we as Native people live with is the fact that our tribe exists within us, and we're never alone. And it's like it's like being an athlete who has a special skill that they can access or utilize with their body, and they don't know how it happens, but when they get on the court, like, the body just knows how to make hoops. With Indian people, we have this connection and this access and this felt presence of our ancestors that constantly and ingeniously works in our favor and gives us a heads up, gives us a profound, emotional, poetic clue as to our deeper identity, as to the deeper workings and makings of our soul. That is who we are, why we're here, and what we're supposed to do with our lives. Like, that stuff circulates amongst our ancestors, and it circulates through us because of our connection to our ancestors. And it's a very empowering reality to live with. And it's why we never forget who we are, because those indestructible ancestors in the other world, who are constantly walking with us, are constantly filling us with these memories of this is who you are. And that's part of what it means to have your tribe alive within you. Part of what it means to have your tribe living with you, even if you're just that one Indian on the sidewalk in front of the courthouse on Indigenous Peoples Day, standing there all alone with your son. You know, you're not alone, and you're doing something powerful and beautiful for the future, and for that little guy that has decided to be your little guy in this lifetime. So I wrote this poem kind of speaking to that. It's I wrote it for my niece and my nephew, and you know, when I was writing a lot of these poems, and when I'm writing a lot of these poems, you know, you feel like you are fashioning what you are going to leave behind, because we are mortals, and our time here is relatively short. So we want to do something good with our lives and leave something good behind. So when I'm writing poems, you know, I feel like a lot of times I'm sharing the stories that I want my great-grandchildren to hear. And I'm sharing the moments from my life that I want to pass along to my descendants for them to ponder and ingest and absorb and to assimilate the sparkle of, you know? So they can remember, you know, their power as an individual human being grown by so many good sources. And so this poem, I kind of had them in mind when I wrote it. I wrote it, I think, when I was like 26, and it's for them. It's called They Live Within Us. All the Indians of the past are still alive inside this one person. And this one person is you. They're a feeling, and they inhabit that feeling like their villages used to inhabit the open land. They all live there, inside that feeling, and that feeling lives inside you. You are the Indian youth, the grandma, and the grandpa. You are the mother and the father. You are the sun dancer, the one smoking the pipe. You are the lonely one, the drunk. All the Indians of the past are still alive as they ever were, and they're still alive in you, in that feeling. You are one of them, and you live in that feeling with them, and this is the way that it will always be. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day.